Hi there. Welcome to this morning's class. It's a brief class and a practical aspect as well, just to demonstrate to you what you need to do for the last bit of your assignment, which you've pretty much covered already in Unit 9. Remember when we're starting this unit, I told you that we had already covered some aspects already in even deeper context than we that is required for you in your assignment. So, in summary, you've actually done more than enough if you were able to do the earlier design. So, for Unit 10 final assignment, which is P7, P8, and M3, you're going to be creating, you are asked to create a direct network communication between two users. Remember, for Unit 9, your M1 was M1, M2. You configured a network on 3 floors with 5 computers minimum. For some, was 15 computers, and you enable direct communication between those devices and the networks. You have 3 floors. We're going to be looking at that just to remind you that you have already covered this. So if you do have your M1 from Unit 9, you can just use the same screenshots, but the only thing that you're going to be doing is you're going to be explaining the steps that you use to create your network. So I will do somewhat of a demonstration for you just as a reminder. Okay, then M3 says assess the effectiveness of data over wired and wireless networks. Okay, we've already covered all of this, and like I said, and you're just going to be demonstrating and just explaining what you had to do to show this. So let's jump over to Packet Tracer real quickly. You remember we did this in class where we set up 3 floors and all of these networks. Now, some people had their floors one on top of the other, and the arrangement doesn't really matter as long as you're able to carry out your design for 3 floors. So if you want one on top, one in the middle, one at the bottom, no problem. If you want it like this, there's no problem. Remember, you can just simply use the screenshots from your previous exercise. If you want to redesign a new one for just 2 networks, for just 2 devices, that's you can just pick 2 devices and have them connected to a switch, and you're good. uh, what this assignment is asking you to do is actually far simpler than what you've done. It says create communication between 2 users, and here, as you can see, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, at least 11 users. So you have for P7 and P8, these two objectives have been accomplished here by using a router. First, a router and a switch. So using the switches in your network, it means that you have been able to configure the devices to communicate between each other. You've designed your IP addressing for each of them, and here you have a wireless access point and a device here that is connected to that wireless access point, and a device connected directly via an Ethernet cable to the wireless access point. So basically, you finished P7 and P8 with this. You just need to explain how you were able to do it by basically putting in your switches, your routers, and configuring IP addresses, and also implementing router RIP, and where we needed to put IP route. All of this we have already covered, so refer to your Unit 9 and you'll be okay. So for the last part of the assignment, which is M3, it says assess the effectiveness of data transfer over wired and wireless networks. So here we have this device connected to this wireless router via a cable, and you have another one here connected using a wireless antenna. Okay, so this is connected via wireless and this is wired. So you're going to assess the quality of communication. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. First of all, let's I'm going to click on that device and we'll show you the wireless router here. This is the IP address. So what I'm going to do is, just for the purpose of orderliness, I'm just going to put the IP address here. And for this one, the fast Ethernet IP address is 1.8. So I'll just put that here. Okay, so that's the IP address. You have the IP addresses. So what we're going to do is to test the effectiveness of communication. Is we're going to try and ping the gateway using this cable communication, and we're going to use just the same thing. We're going to ping via wireless uh, communication as well. Remember, PC wireless was where we used to connect our device to our wireless access point. So now we're going to just ping. I'm just going to ping that so that you'll see. I'll use this first. So I'll go over to my desktop, go to command prompt. Okay, so first of all, to check your IP address settings, use the command ipconfig, and you can see here that this is the IP address, just to confirm that, and this is the gateway, which is this device here. So we're going to ping that device 192.168.1.5, and you can see there's a response reply from this, and the packet sent, none lost, and this is what you have as a summary here. So let's do the same thing here. Let's come over to desktop, command prompt from PC0, the same thing, check the IP address, ipconfig. You can see the IP address is 1.2, that's 192.168. This is the IP address of this device, so this is your gateway. So what you want to do is you ping your gateway, same thing you did there, 168.1.5. Okay, so have a look at the summary here. This is where you do your comparison. So for both devices, this is a cabled device and this is a wireless device. You will notice that the round trip, the time it took to get to its destination, it said the minimum amount of time was 11 milliseconds and the maximum was 35 milliseconds. For this one, for the cabled connection, you can see it took 0.000 milliseconds, which is really fast. It means that it basically did not have any latency compared to this one. So compared to cable communication, because of the line of sight, which is possible because of the connectivity in the cable, there's no outside interference from any other thing, so you have packets traveling at that distance more effectively over that vacuum, which is just a wireless signal. So sometimes this is what you have with the quality of communication normally on cable communication is better or more effective on a cable connection. So just to ping again and ping this to 0 microsecond. That is not to say that you cannot have faster wireless network connection. Yes, you can have, but it usually fluctuates compared to it. The one on the cable, of course, also fluctuates depending on what is happening, what activity is taking place on the device, on the entire network. But in general, it has been proven or been tested to say to confirm that wired communications are more reliable just because of that physical connection compared to the wireless connectivity. So that's why here you have here in this simulation, you can see 0 microsecond again. This one is 10 microsecond. So you can see this is still faster than this one. So you can take a screenshot of this and put in your report and explain what I've just said. So that is that for M3. If you've done that, all you need to do for M3 is you're just explaining you've what you've done and how you did it. So I'm just going to close this. The first thing, what I'm going to do here is start. I'll just save this. Then I'll start a new New project. Okay. So what I'm going to do quickly with you is just to set up communication between two devices. So I'm going to be using a switch, just any switch, then end devices. I'm just going to use this two PCs, and I'm going to just connect them through using the Ethernet connection. I'll put this on port 1, I'll put this on port 2. So all you need to do here is open, give it an IP address, fast Ethernet. So we'll just give 192.168.1.2. Just click here for a subnet mask, and that is done. Do the same thing here. 192.168.1.3. Okay. So these are two devices connected via a switch. There's no router. They're on the same network. So on your switch, you would notice that if you come to the command line, you notice that the interfaces are up. When you enable, oh, I mistakenly typed. I didn't put a space there. I wanted you to see that the interface on the switch here, port 1 and port 2, it basically came up the moment we connected the two cables. Okay, so let's go to our desktop command prompt. If you do ipconfig, that's the IP address. So you want to ping the other IP address, 168.1.3 is the other one, and you can see there's a reply already. That is from this device to this device. That's how simple that assignment is. This assignment actually. So you've done something far more complex. That's why I said let me demonstrate to you what it is that is expected of you. So all you just need to do is explain what you did, the steps you took in configuring your device, your IP address, and also pinging. So if you have that from your previous assignment, please just use that, just submit that, because you've already done that already. So I'm just pinging back to this other device, and you can see there's a reply already. So so if you want to do a fresh wireless connectivity test on this particular assignment, if, like I said, we had done that already using the wireless interface, the wireless device. So here I'll just put a home router here, a wireless home router, and I will just put two other devices here. So I'll have this one connected via fast Ethernet. So I'll use another, because this one has gigabit connectivity. It's better I just use Ethernet connection. So let me just check again for another wireless device, a simple one, very basic one, just for this example. Yeah, I think this should do. Okay, Ethernet 1, good. So for this device to be connected via wireless, you need to look for the module. So the module that we need to use is this particular one. So let's first of all turn off the computer, remove the interface, and drag and drop the wireless interface and switch it on. So let's see, wireless, it's there. Okay, so it's enabled, what we're going to do is first of all check for the SSID. So it's the display name here, it says wireless router, it's on DHCP. Let's see the wireless configuration, the SSID, let's call it test. Just call it test. We're not going to set up, do any security setup for this particular assignment. So everything else seems good. So the IP address for this device here is 0.1. That's 192.168.0.1. So for this device, we're going to, let me be sure it's connected. So I've changed SSID. That was why you notice the connection has dropped. So if you want to connect back to that device, you come to desktop, go to PC wireless and connect, and you wait to see if it will see that access point. As you can see, it has seen it test. So you just say connect, and if you look at it, you'll see that it is connected already. So that's fine. We can decide to put a static wireless static address. So since it's connected via wireless, it has automatically given it a gateway, which is this. So what we can do, just to confirm the IP address that has been given to it, you can check here. This is the IP address that has been assigned to it. But let's go use command prompt first and see. So with this, let's come to command prompt and let's type ipconfig. So you can see the IP address here is this 0.100. So if you want to ping the gateway, which is 192.168.0.1, you can see reply to the gate from the gateway. This is what you get. So let's come over here to the wired one and let's see if it has an IP address assigned already. Now gateway is static. Let's put it on DHCP and see if we can get that. Yeah. So if you put it on DHCP, it is dynamic host configuration protocol. So it means that you're saying get your gateway automatically. So this has to be set on DHCP too. That's what we did. So because we don't want to put in the IP address, we've told this router here to give it automatically. So fast Ethernet, you go check, you can see it's on DHCP. If you switch to static, of course, it will tell you to go ahead and type what you want to type, but we want it on DHCP so that it will assign an IP address, and of course it will give it a different IP address from PC3. So you can see here it is assigned 192.168.0.102. So let's go to command prompt. You can type ipconfig. Remember, ipconfig is just to check what your IP address is, subnet mask, and basically network details. So now we want to ping our gateway again from this second device. So when you ping it, let's have a look at it. So you can see on this wired communication here, you can see 0 milliseconds. It took 0 milliseconds for it to complete, and on this device it took 14 milliseconds. So you can see it's the same results we're getting to test your connectivity. The question you're answering here is assess the effectiveness of data transferred over wired and wireless networks. So it is more, basically your result will be that you found that it's more effective being communicated, and that's when data is being communicated over a wired connection compared to wireless communication. So and it's quite understandable because of the atmosphere, the environment. There's so many things that could affect the quality of the signal being received. So you can see here for wired communication on the left, that's PC2, you have 0 milliseconds, and here for wired communication you had 16 microseconds. Okay, if you like, you could do your live simulation and you just drop your packets from here to here and let it run, and let's play that. From here to here, packets. Okay, this is just basically simulation. I'm just showing you that communication here successful using just a ping, just ICMP protocol, just for pinging. So you can see wireless communication If you want to test communication from here to here, this is the same thing. You just click from here to destination and you will wait. Okay, so you can see the packet was received. Okay, so that is that for your test and configuration. So if you do this, let's see what the result is on the simulation here. Is at 1.7. Okay, it hasn't completed. Okay, PC3. So that's for PC3, as you can see on this side. PC2, let's see what result it gives here for PC2. Okay, it's a slight difference in time. You can see for the wireless and for PC2, here's 1.87 seconds. It just gives you the full summary of the packets being sent, and these are the layers. You remember we did the OSI model? All of these are the details within your packets, and we're dealing with packet elements, data elements. These are some of the information to check for data integrity and all of that. Okay, so if you have screenshots of, I can stop my simulation now. If you have, just take screenshots and describe what you did. You basically put in your IP addresses, you put in the wireless interface for your device, and you configured it to communicate, and you pinged, then that will be fine. That report will be fine. Okay, and include it in your assignment. So screenshots of this showing what you've done, the you pinging, and why wireless. What's the difference between the quality of signal on wired communication and wireless? If you've done all of this, you're done with Unit 10. So all the best. Thank you.